All right, welcome back everyone. I'm going to be doing a video on how to maintain and top up your Adams graphene ceramic coating, or if you have the regular one here, after a year or so, just to kind of rejuvenate it and get the best possible performance out of that coating, long term. Now, you can interchange these items here with these coatings. So after a year, I've had them on my wheels for quite some time. So this rear one has the advanced one, and this front one has the regular one, and the other two have the advanced coating. So I did that video July 25th 2021, so it's basically almost a year. We're just shy of that, so we're like almost 9 months. Again, these wheels would go again a year, no problem, so they'd have another 3 months, no problem there. I've topped them up with I haven't used GCS3 in quite some time for that. I was playing around with this with something else, but you can use this to maintain it. It has and offers up to 90 days of protection, or you can use the graphene detail spray, which will last you about a month on its own. So both are good options. I haven't topped these wheels in quite some time with anything. I've just been using Shine Supply throttle during the wash process. So after a year, again, I just went over a video with how to deep clean your wheels with the 3 pH wash system to kind of prep your wheels for a top-up. So if you use this coating on your wheels, maybe you're coming out of winter and you kind of want to see if your coating's still working properly and you want to just give them a deep clean, just reference that video, and then you can come back and top up your coating. So you can top it as easily as a ceramic spray sealant if you wish, not a problem. You can use CanCoat Evo, which works on any coating if you wish, but again, with these being graphene coatings from Adams, we're going to stick with the Adams product line. So what that means is we're going to put the Adams graphene advanced spray coating, and we're going to also use the regular graphene ceramic spray coating, which was out on the market first. This just has more active ingredient versus this. If you still have some of this left over, just go ahead and use it up and then transition over to the advanced one. Same thing with this coating. If you've used the regular one, just transition over to the advanced one. Again, you get more solids. It's a little harder to use, but again, overall it's a better product because again, it's more durable, more active ingredient, and you're good. And I would just, like I said, I would just transition over to the advanced stuff. If you're entry level, if you're just coming into coatings, this is probably the way to start, because this one's a little tacky to work with. But the spray coatings, very easy to use. Just use them either way. You can use them interchangeably, so you can put this on top of this, or you could use the advanced one on top of this or this. So again, interchangeable. And so we're going to go ahead and just use both versions here, and we'll get the wheels prepped and clean to accept the new spray coating here. So let's go ahead and do that. If you wanted to, you can come back and just use the detail spray or GCS3 if you wanted to. Again, that's just really easy. If you wanted to use one of those spray and rinse coatings, by all means do that. So let's go ahead and take these with us, and we'll get to working with them. I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to put this advanced one here. Okay, so now we have the wheel propped up and ready to clean, or prep I should say. Let me get this excess water here. So at this point, what you can do is, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a panel wipe. I want this panel wipe to remove any surfactants that the soaps may have left behind. And so I'm going to use some Shine Supply Throwback. I've had this on my shelf for quite some time. I'm like, you know what, I'm sick of staring at this. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. It's an okay panel wipe. Nothing spectacular. So just wipe it in. Like I said, I want this surface as clean as possible to accept the spray coating. And one thing you're going to notice when you use that 3 pH wash system is the paint feels so smooth. I mean, literally it feels smooth. It feels real nice. I mean, you may not strip the toppers that are on there, but you know, the paint will be left feeling smooth. Let me just rotate this because I need to get to the back here to panel wipe it. Again, not rocket science. We're just prepping the surface, and it's not going to take much effort. I don't know what this is. It's not tar. Okay. Okay, so we've cleaned the wheels. And the next part is we're going to go ahead and I picked up this product from Dr. Beasley's. I needed free shipping, so I picked this up. It's called pH Neutralizer. Use it during your prep phase, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is neutralize the surface and bring it back to pH neutral state. So we'll read it here. Prepare a surface of your vehicle for optimal protection. Cleaning products leave behind residue that creates unbalanced pH levels, which remain on the surface when it's conditioned or protected. pH Neutralizer removes the residue from pre-cleaned surfaces so your car's protective coatings last longer. Spray surface, let sit, wipe dry. Shake well before use. Only apply to pre-cleaned surfaces. Follow up with appropriate protection product. So I kind of just want to get your thoughts on this product. You know, is this something that's people have neglected to think about? I'm gonna have to touch this and rotate it. Or, you know, should a product like this exist? Should a product like this exist? Is it really needed? You know, things of that. You know, what do you all of you think? So the thing, this doesn't tell you how much time to let this sit for, so we'll just let it sit for just a few seconds and then we'll see how this does. So again, I don't know what, there's no way for me to really measure the pH on the surface here. Clean this tire. Okay. So just clean that. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this in and wipe this off. I think that's a long enough time. Like I said, there's no reference point in the directions on how much time to let this sit. I figured just enough to where you know the surface is restored to a pH neutral state. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off. It's an interesting concept. The other reason I bought it because I saw it in a video that Dr. Beasley's that they had put up there, and I was like, you know, that's actually kind of an interesting concept. Nobody really thinks about that type of thing. You know, is it really needed? Let me wipe my hands here. I got pH neutralizer all over my gloves. So nobody really thinks about that kind of stuff, and you know, it exists. You know, is it a product that needs to exist? Okay, let me wipe this in. You know, is it really going to help my protection product last longer? Honestly, who knows? Okay, so we've cleaned that. And we're good to go. So I'm going to be using a microfiber applicator, and I'm going to be using the same applicator for both spray coatings. I'm going to alternate sides. So if there's some contamination from it getting inside, you know, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to showcase the application of this on here. So just shake up all that graphene goodness in there. Just throw, you know, 3 or 4 spritzes in there to prep this, and just apply it. Now, unfortunately, I can't show the flashing of the product because these wheels are silver. And I didn't bring the UV light because I really don't need it, but you could use the UV light. To see if you've got it on every surface. But again, just rotate that. I'm actually gonna have to touch the spokes here. Try to touch the outer part of the spokes. I need a stand that rotates on the bottom rather than me muscling around these wheels. Okay, let me wipe this water here. Before I get to prepping my wheels. Put that up here for now. Okay, so I'm going to throw a couple more. Throw 3 sprays in there, and I'll apply this. Now, depending on your temperature and humidity, it may flash faster or it may flash slower. Like I said, right now I can't really show you the rainbowing because I really don't see it myself. You know, the paint is really hides it. Get the lugs here. So that's it. So the application is very similar to the regular one. I'm not going to show you the application of the other one. I just want to kind of just show you that yes, this is the way you would top it. But again, the application for this is very similar. There's no reason to show it on here. I can't really see it flashing in here, so we'll just let it set up for just a couple minutes. I'm trying to see if I can see it off the I see rainbowing on there, so we'll just let it set up here for another couple seconds here. Again, if you applied it and then say you couldn't see the rainbowing and you wiped it off sooner rather than later, that's okay. Just, you know, apply it later when you if you think you got it wrong. But even if you wiped it off sooner than later, it would still last quite a bit of time. So we'll just kind of let this set up for, you know, about another few seconds as I talk through here. But yeah, the application of the regular one's the same. They didn't really change anything there. And then I'll top off the tire dressing just to show you which tire dressing I'm going to use. So I have water coming out of here from the wash process. Okay, so I don't have any more rainbow on the center cap. So what does that mean? That means I can start leveling the product. And what you're going to notice from both spray coatings is that they're very slick. Yeah, they're very slick products. Top coats, which is pretty nice. Everybody likes slickness, right? And so now I've added slickness to the wheels. I've added a long-term form of protection in here. Well, I shouldn't say long-term, but at least for a few months. If I just left it on by itself and continue to follow with my wash process of if I wanted to just use throttle all the time, which like leaves no protection behind, and just let the product do the work, then I would probably get about 6 months out of this one. You're not going to get 12 to 18 unless your car sits in the garage and you don't touch it. So that's it for that. I still have some water here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rotate this. So unfortunately I have to touch the spokes. Rotate this guy. I'm going to have to rotate it again because I'm going to show you the tire dressing I'm going to be using on these wheels. So I have to touch the coating in order for me to get these things. So again, I need to get a wheel stand that rotates. They do make them. That feels really good. Actually, I should be using, I'm going to flip this towel over. This towel came in the Poor Boys kit. I've used it before. I just rewashed it, and then I just use it when I use Gliss. It's not a good towel. Alright, that's pretty much it. If you're using this as on your paint, I'm using it for my wheel, so if I had a high spot on the inner barrel, I don't really care because I would never see it. On the face, again, I probably wouldn't care. But if you have it on your paint and you want to wipe it clean, because if you don't, then you're going to end up with a high spot, and this coating will leave a high spot and you will see it on there. So just get it as clean as you can, and then just make sure it's wiped clean. So got that. So now we're going to go for the tire dressing. I'm going to go ahead and throw this towel in the trash anyways. I don't like it. So now we're going to get to the tire dressing portion. And the tire dressing I've chosen to use is Carpro Pearl. And I'm going to use it with the Carscope tire brush, which you've seen me use before. This guy here. This is the actual Carscope one. And so here's Pearl. And so I tend to use Pearl undiluted when I really give the tires a deep clean, and then I will maintain it 1:1 until I give the tires another deep clean, who knows when. So I just spray some Carpro Pearl on the applicator, and then just go ahead and just work it in. And if you get some on the inner tread, just knock it down with your brush, and then just work it back and forth again. Pretty straightforward. Again, this tire brush works pretty well for what it is. It gives you a good finish. Like I said, I think the only con I have is that it if you're using it with the tires on your actual car, you can't get to the lower, the bottom portion of the tire. So you're gonna have to move your car back in order to get access to that. Okay. So just knock it down. I have a couple more sections here and I'm pretty much done. I still think these brushes work better with a water-based tire dressing like this versus something like Geon Q2. Geon Q2 felt a little too draggy, you know, like it was sticking, like it was fighting me on the tire. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe this off with a towel, and then I'll wipe off the tire. But that's pretty much it in terms of topping up your spray coating after your base layer coating after a year. Just go ahead and use one of these. Do the 3 pH wash system that I showed. Come back and apply your spray coating of choice, and then dress your tire, and you're good to go. And again, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.